prohibited.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please stand for our national anthem. And they're off. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saratoga Racecourse. And it's another fine day in the great Northeast. A mix of sun and clouds. The temperature will get into the low 80s. Main track is fast. The turf courses are firm. And there are no portable rails in use on either the melon or the inner. Big story today, the jackpot carryover in the Empire 6. It is more than $600,000. And today, there is a mandatory payout. Empire 6 begins in race 4 today. The changes begin in race number 1. And in the opener, scratch number 7, Peachy Queen. Scratch number 7, Peachy Queen out of race 1. In the second race, scratch number 1 just in front, part of an entry. Scratch the 1, and note that number 7 scoring is 4 pounds over. In the third race, there'll be no show, trifecta, or superfecta wagering. Scratch 2, I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost, and 3, American West. In the third, scratch numbers 2 and 3. The fourth race starts the Empire 6. No changes in the fourth, and no changes in race 5. In today's sixth race, scratch number 4, Madam Deputy. Scratch the 4, and note that number 1, Towering Gaze, runs with a hood again. An equipment change in the seventh race for number 4, Giuseppe the Great. He'll run with blinkers off. Blinkers off the 4. Today's featured eighth race is the 82nd running of the Grade 1 Diana Stakes. No changes. And no changes in today's ninth. Fast and firm. Jackpot carryover in the Empire 6 of more than $600,000. And today we have a mandatory payout. We'll be back at 12:30 to recap the changes. First race post time is at 1:10. Coming up, it's the Sunday edition of Talking Horses with Andy Serling and Anthony Stabile.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses, presented by Saratoga Water. Andy Serling, soon to be joined by the Big A, Anthony Stabile, on a beautiful Sunday here at Saratoga, the day after Four-Star Dave Day. It is Diana Day. Diana, a race that has a great history of some of the best fillier mare turf runners over the past however many years you want to go, and Sister Charlie will try to come back and win her third straight Diana, an amazing achievement, an interesting race, and Anthony and I will be talking about a little bit later on. The Diana, the Grade 1 Diana, is the fifth leg of the Empire 6, which features a mandatory payout today. We'll be paying out the whole carryover pool of $600,929. That basically means that if there's less than $3 million bet into today, it becomes a positive equity bet where every dollar you bet, your expected return is over $1, a 20-cent minimum bet. Races 4 through 9, Anthony and I will be going over them, but that is the mandatory payout today, and I'm assuming we'll probably have one on closing day as well, the next one, and we'll see if it gets hit in the interim. Also, the way to play the Empire 6 and play all the wagers is to play through Naira Bets. We are offering a free $25 play to new members, as well as a match of up to $200 of your initial deposit. Use promo code Derby25, support racing in New York. Play through and support Naira Bets. $5 rebate if you bet 25 or more in the first and fourth, last race here and fourth race at Del Mar. That's Fridays through Sunday every day. Also, Saratoga Live. Catch all the action. Follow your Empire 6 play and all the play 1 to 6 o'clock today, I believe.
FS1.
FS1 all day long. But you can always
Plus
find
as
out
well.
where we're going to be, MSG Plus, all the other networks. And also, we're always available on the Naira YouTube channel. Anthony, my man, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Had a nice day yesterday? You brought those
I had
tomatoes
a fun
and
day.
eggplants
Tomatoes
to my
and
mom.
eggplants,
Who's better than
courtesy
you?
to Browns.
The great man.
I have my own care package as well. May or may not have been some Mother's Kisses peanut butter cookies as well from...
Did you bring me any peanut butter cookies?
I did not bring any cookies, no. The
What am I,
cookies were,
chopped liver here?
The cookies were...
I had one of the tomatoes this morning with Mom. They are outstanding.
there's some fresh mozzarella waiting in Howard Beach for me to put on top of the...
Heading home.
Yeah.
Your last trip home before the meet ends?
Last trip home, yep. Last trip home. Looking forward to coming back and finishing up, like you said, mandatory payout today. 11 cards left after that. I cannot believe. In some aspects, it's felt like it's been a little slow. Mostly, though, I feel like it's flown by. We'll have 11 cards left. Like you said, provided nobody hits it in those 11 days, mandatory payout on Labor Day.
Let's take a quick look at yesterday's four-star Dave, and congratulations to Howard and his connections. Also nice to see Got Stormy come back and run well. I thought she was going to get up and win. Nice performances all around. You point out Casa Creed also ran well to finish third in here. It was a race that was not only dominated by forwardly placed horses, but particularly by horses that spent almost the entire race on the rail, and only Casa Creed actually ventured to the three-path. But you want to be towards the inside, and I do think it's a valid question, and you said it to me also, and I agree, Anthony. It would be one thing if one of the Chad Brown runners didn't run. Uni, Raging Bull, Without Parole, all of them fired. Now, obviously, Valid Point doesn't class up to these horses, though he had a wide trip as well. But I really think all those horses spun their wheels when they swung out the middle of the racetrack in the stretch. And I just think it made it very, very hard to close yesterday. And it was one of those races dominating the front end. It doesn't knock the first two horses, but they had the right trips and others had the wrong trips.
Now, I liked Uni. You liked Raging Bull. We
Doesn't
liked them
matter
both.
who we like. Makes no difference
well,
who we like.
Here's my point is this. If you tell me Raging Bull doesn't fire, that's fine. You tell me Uni doesn't fire, that's fine. Without Parole, Group 1 winner over... He doesn't fire, that's fine. The three of them didn't fire. I find that very, very hard to believe.
Yeah,
it's just too hard to believe. And yeah, I'm taking nothing away from Halliday here. He went, race ran through him. He dominated. We talk about it all the time.
One of us picked him third.
One of us picked him third.
I'm not going to say who it was,
but
him. One of us did.
Speed kills. And Luis Saez, who is riding out of his mind good right now, put on a clinic yesterday on the front
Luis
end.
Saez and Todd Pletcher are not two guys that are going to rate speed horses,
Correct.
and certainly not going to do it two races in a row. It was a very moderate pace. I know that there's a notion that because we took race off the turf and we listed the horse as good, that course was firm. And you could watch the race, and it's a little digging up in the first turn, but watch them down the backstretch and head on. They're not digging anything up. And I think, you look at the final times, 47 and change the half, and then 46 coming home. That's a firm turf course. It's not a rock-hard summer turf course, but it's a firm turf course. It's not a good turf course.
It's firm. And you mentioned, the only horse who really met any ground was Casa Creed.
And he did it on Rice on the inside, obviously, the entire
he rode the inside, which was good, but he still made up some ground.
If you watch the head-on, Raging Bull and Uni are in the 2 to 3 path, even on the backstretch. They're not down on the rail.
Right.
So they were never taking advantage of the rail, and it's almost one of those energizing situations where you needed to be inside. And we've seen that a little bit on the inner during the course of the week in different times, where being inside seems to be an advantage.
You used the word, before we went on air, you used the word sputtering. And that's kind of what it looked like. They just couldn't... They couldn't churn.
They couldn't get it. So maybe the course was less firm. I don't know the situation. Interesting race nonetheless. And an excellent Diana that we'll be talking about in just a few minutes. Race number 1. Bill Mott has Uptown Flirt, the horse with experience. We'll take a look at that one, or at least experience in the turf, before Caldy has some experience. I don't think there's anything wrong with this effort. I know Christophe Clement likes Plum Ali. And Stunning Princess, who finished second, came back and ran well here the other day, losing to Chad Brown horse that he really likes.
Yeah, she just missed to Ingracia.
Why can't this horse?
No. So she absolutely can.
You missed it again. I tried to drink with the cap on.
Did you do it? She ran on well here, too. Nothing wrong with this effort as well. Like you said, Christophe and the barn think very highly of the winner. Second filly ran another bang-up second to another well-meant firster from Chad Brown. And now she finds a spot where she has some experience. and it could help her in a big
But
way
we both
against
have
the
black
first
sand on top. Talk about black sand.
Well, black sand is another one from Chad Brown. This one coming over, son of a daughter of the amazing Dubawi, comes over out of a Galileo mare, rumored to be a good one. I just went here.
Well, I don't know if I haven't asked Chad Brown about this horse, but this is not a Tattersall purchase, I assume. This is a homebred because White Birch Farm.
Yes.
That's Peter Brandt. I'm assuming. Now, the second dam of this horse, I'm going to incorrectly pronounce the horse's name if I try to, so I won't. But she was a monster. I mean, she won over $1.35 million in the early 2000s. She actually ran ninth in the Dubai World Cup, but she was second in the Arc. She won the French Oaks. She won the Prix Vermeil. She won the Prix Foy as a 4-year-old. She was second in the Arc one year and sixth in the Arc another year. She won the Prix Gannet. She was fourth in the King George. I mean, you're talking about a horse that's a
all of the biggest
runner.
races on the other side.
This
of the
horse
pond,
has a gigantic pedigree to be a runner, and the Dubawis can run. So, well, I'm going to assume, and I don't know. You seem to have heard this horse can run. I did not.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming
And I
this
did
horse
not
can
hear
run.
from Chad.
Whatever.
So.
I laughed when I saw Todd Pletcher's horse, Bryn Bella, because I knew that had to be a theory of change, had to be a Klarovich dam. And, of course, it was.
Oh, yeah.
And, do you remember this horse? I had forgotten this horse.
Yeah.
This horse broke her maiden theory of change, the dam of Bryn Bella, on closing day here in 2015, September 7th. Ran one more time, and I think the Jessamine, is that the race at Keeneland?
The race at Keeneland, yeah.
And did not do any running and never appeared again.
I do remember her now. Wow.
Yeah. So that is a turf pedigree a little bit with Bryn Bella as well, and Flintshire the dam. Sort of Flintshire's first foals, his first crop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stands at Hillendale, I believe.
He stands at Hillendale.
All right. 6'5", 5'6".
6'5",
See how it works
5'6".
out.
That's
Race
all I really
number
want. Yep.
1. We are on the Mellon, where we ran yesterday's last race, which ran in a much more fairly run manner than the Inner. Race number 2. I am against Wickster's Dream, as are you. A horse who got an 85 buyer and was claimed out of that race by Jeremiah Englehart. Is not a drop in class. This is a straight 3-year-old race. That was up, but it was also $9 a 2 lifetime. I thought it was a gold rail this day, and while Wickster's Dream rallied off the rail, did sit on the rail almost the whole race. We saw Brazen, who set the pace in the rail and came out with a big figure, come back and run a stinkeroonie in his subsequent start. So
The stinkeroonie.
This horse can win, but I'm not a big fan.
Can I ask you a question? Did you have a tough time with this race?
Yes, it's a
This
very,
race was I was so happy this race
you had a
wasn't in
tougher
the
time
Empire
than me,
6.
but because you picked the 6. But yes, I'm kidding. This was a crazy tough race. Because honestly, I think Victory Boulevard, the 2, was on a dead rail last time, so I could upgrade his performance, and he's got races. Wickster's Dream can clearly win this race.
Sure.
I don't like Ryan's Cat, but he has the speed in this race. I think Mission Wrap It Up dropping down. Do I have a stat for Mission Wrap It Up, Steve?
Steve?
We do.
Bingo.
There it is. Look at this stat. First time for a tag in the dirt. Chad Brown's almost 50%, 261 ROI. They're 8-5 shots, but they're winning more, almost 50% of the time. Mr. Short and Simple, I'll get to. Listen, I don't like your horse on Cook the Bottle, but he is a little dangerous. I'll let you talk about him. And scoring can be forwardly placed and can absolutely win for Tom Amoss. I don't think there's a big throw-out among the 2 through 7. I'd be surprised if the 1A won, but after that.
The horse I picked here, the 6 Uncorked a Bottle, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if any of them won, really. The 6 Uncorked a Bottle sprinted twice on the dirt, won by 10 3/4 and 6 1/4. Now, look, the horse won a $16,000 maiden claimer and an optional for that. I know the horse is facing better, but
Horse can run the dirt.
How much really better, right? 3 intended dirt races were the 2 sprint wins and the Holy Bull.
No,
one off the turf race. I mean, to me, it got. And
I didn't like how Savvy Joseph's horse ran the other day.
I don't either. I don't
that
like
horse
how
ran the other day. That horse made a lot of sense, and that horse just went out the back door.
I
around
don't
the turn.
like how they're running.
I know he had to win, but that's
you.
what worries me.
But the difference is going to be this horse is going to be a little bit of a price.
You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. His dope is right there.
And
I mean, his races are fine.
Victory Boulevard's dropping. Wickster's Dream is probably a lateral move back to the 3-year-olds, right? The Ryan Cat dropping. Mission Wrap It Up, probably a lateral move.
What's your problem, Mr. Short and Simple? Did Rudy tell you this horse can't win?
I don't like betting horses off of Van Doffs. This horse just didn't
wait a second. He stumbled at the start.
Yeah.
So doesn't that stumble at the start and the horse being vanned off feel like maybe he grabbed himself in the race and that's why he was vanned off?
It does. It does.
That's what I thought.
And that's fine. And you're not going to hold the race against Art Collector against him coming back.
Well, I'm not going to hold his last race against him. He was running against. He stumbled at the start. He's running against Creed. Okay, Mr. Winston didn't run well, but hang on.
Why
live your beast.
Why the drop?
Because he's running him where he can win, Anthony. Where is he supposed to keep running him? Non-winners of one races and getting his doors blown off?
I don't disagree with that.
So he's ran a maiden 30,000 claimer. Where's he supposed to run him?
The drop just bothers me.
Why? He's running for 32,000. He ran him in a maiden 30 in the second start. They paid $27,000 for him. You're talking about him like he ran the Breeders' Cup.
No, I understand.
I don't think this is a bad drop at all. I think it's Richie. I think it's Rudy going, if I want to win a race with this horse, I need to run him where he can win.
Yeah, you might be right. I may have slept this horse.
Yeah,
I had so much trouble with this race.
I think your horse can win, and I left him out. And believe me, I think Amos's horse can win, and I left him out. You're going to leave horses out you think can win here. That's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't worry about the drop down.
Okay. Well, then if you're right about and you make a lot of valid points about the drop down, I should have had this horse. I should have included this horse.
How about the Chad Brown horse, Mission Wrap It Up? I mean, I don't know what they paid for him because Michael Dubb bought this horse a couple races back, so I can't judge if this is a big negative drop. But I'd also argue Michael's trying to win races.
No question about
Michael
that.
Dubb doesn't win as many races as he's won over the last umpteen years by constantly running his horses where they can't win.
And this horse has been in for higher tags. Those optional races, he's been in for the 80. So it's not like they haven't.
You know what?
They haven't offered.
That first time for the tag number is wrong. You are correct.
It's not like they haven't offered this horse. Oh, I didn't realize that was the stat. But it's first time for the tag for Chad.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, it's a bad stat. You're dead right.
They put this horse in for a tag a couple of times. I mean, and it wasn't these connections. And like Andy said, we don't know what they paid for him.
Thank you for
now
that.
He's in for the tag.
I thought this horse ran fine, the Mike Lee.
I thought he ran fine.
He stunk last
time.
time.
The problem was last time. But you know what?
But he still ran well enough to win this race.
And he wasn't the only horse that kind of. Big Thicket didn't run 2 steps. That was a race. Yeah. That was a weird race.
Except Big Thicket came back the other day and he didn't run 1 step.
Yeah.
So maybe Big Thicket got good and he just went backwards.
Very true. Yeah.
Sperry's is calling me. By the way, if you guys are watching Talking Horses at Sperry's, I'll see you there tonight. I'm actually on the TV screens at the restaurant that was currently calling me.
I was so happy this race.
I love this town.
This race was not in the Empire 6 today because I would have not felt comfortable without hitting the all button. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But this would have given me fits in the Empire 6 today. Fits.
No, I agree. This is virtually an all race. I mean, I guess if you're using 6 or 7, maybe you're just supposed to go all.
That's right. There's 7 of them left. You're going to use 5 of them. You got to hit the all button because you don't want one of the others to beat you.
It's a fascinating race, but I agree. No, I agree wholeheartedly. I honestly felt this race was the last race I made picks for.
You're right. Tom Amos scoring can win this race.
Of course he can.
Neither one of us have him on the board.
Is he going to be forwardly placed?
Yeah. I mean,
Stalking the 1A. Maybe he's better than that horse. Puts him way top of the stretch, and they all come get him.
Yep.
Race number 3. You know what's funny about American West is scratched out of race number 3. Do you remember the dam?
Sure.
Who trained her?
Mike Cushion.
I realized she won the attempt in her second start. She won her debut by a pole at Belmont.
Yep.
I remembered that, and this is so typical of me. I actually watched her debut with Mike Cushion. I sat in the box with her for 10 minutes, just shooting the breeze. I must have gone down to watch the race, and there was Mike, who's one of the more interesting, affable guys in racing.
One of the best.
I sat and talked to him, and this horse never even came up in the conversation at any point. And we watched the race, and I went, "Oh my gosh, Mike, your horse is running really well." He made like $12.
Mike was a real. The only time I ever had a tip on a Cushion horse was Richie. On Thanksgiving Day, the horse paid $34 in the slot.
Wow.
I won into Aqueduct hungover. Really hungover. Made a lot of money and ran out of it.
Richie has given me tips on horses that have been really good, and they've been stakes horses, and they've all lost their debuts, and I bet them. My favorite one was
Richie gave me 2 horses. Him
Successful
and
Appeal.
Bye Bye Baby. He went to Delaware to ride for Todd. It was like 3-5 for Todd, and John Kimball put Rajiv on the horse in 09. And Bye Bye Baby went wide away, beat Rule. She beat the boys. Going 6 furlongs at Belmont on a Sunday.
Richie gave me a tip on Successful Appeal when he ran his maiden race up here. Successful Appeal won the Amsterdam. It was a monstrous horse. I think he was like third. Was he second or third in the Lexington that what's his name won? The horse who won the Derby? Charismatic one?
Yep.
So
yeah,
Richie said he's in a 75,000 claiming this horse is a very good horse, blah, blah, blah. He was right. He lost. It was 3-1. He lost to Wayne. Some horse. Richie, deputy, what's the name of Iron Deputy? Amazing. He was always right, but they never won when we bet him. So I'm sorry America West is out. I don't know why. You have gone to the outside to Bill Mott.
Yeah. Like the sources worked there. We talked about this. Some of the Mott firsters, the 2-year-olds, been training a little more aggressively than the others, and I just noticed that the ones that have been training aggressively have been the ones that have really showed up first time out. Gets the outside draw here, going 6 furlongs. It's only a field of 4 now. One horse has run out of here, the 4 Baba, who had very little speed first time out. The 5 Fifth Risk, Todd Pletcher worked this horse on the turf an easy half mile before going back to the dirt, so I think maybe trying to find his way with Fifth Risk for Paul Pompa, and then Chad has suspended campaign on the rail. I thought that was a little bit.
You've left Seth out. He's probably despondent watching the show now. I remember when you guys were friends, and now it seems to be. No, I don't know.
Seth.
I don't know. I'm telling you, there's a rift.
Hold on. This
you
horse
haven't
would have been
discussed.
third. We take only.
We only got the picks you got,
off.
Anthony, and you've clearly pitched the horse. I'll say something interesting about Jade Empress. I was talking to Nick Tamara about this horse earlier today, and the horse does have good works. Nick made an interesting point about this horse. He said the horse has been getting decent workout reports, but one of the reasons is he's been working with that horse Elise that ran third yesterday.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people thought that horse was a good horse. I think we can say after yesterday, there's a real question about whether or not that horse...
Oh, come on, Andy. That horse got bothered twice in the lane. You're going to really hold that effort against him?
Yes.
It looked like the inside was good at that part of the day.
Anthony, that horse is not very good.
Andy.
That horse is not very good.
Come
and
on,
you're being
Andy.
nice because you like Lee,
He
which is
got bothered
fine.
twice. He
Anthony,
lost. I thought
that
he was going to win.
not a very good race, and
I think that's
I do
unfair.
think the stewards should have at least had an inquiry and told people they were looking at it. But
Yeah.
that's another discussion. I'm just saying what Nick said, and I don't think he's wrong. I
Okay.
think there's been a disappointment.
There we
Now,
go.
those are Colts and these are fillies, so that's also a possibility. I took suspended campaign. By the way, I have no idea if this horse is good, but I'm guessing.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
The outworks have sold for a lot of money, huh? Fifth Risk is an outwork.
Yeah. 10 times the stud fee. Yeah. We've seen some. We saw the one for $290, right?
Did you catch the Nick Zito iPhone discussion on yesterday's show? That was so great.
I do love the fact that he still has his flip. He bought
course
that
Nick's had
flip phone. He was telling me a story where I was doing some stuff for HRN 2 years ago. We were doing some sales stuff. He bought the flip phone in '96. It's the same one. That flip phone, if I remember correctly, that flip phone's 24 years old. How could you hold a horse trainer is able to hold a phone for 24 years? It never fell in a bucket of water.
You obviously don't know Nick Zito as well as I do.
I'm just saying. You know how many different...
Do they even make flip phones anymore?
I would imagine you'd find somebody that has a flip phone, I would think.
Yeah. People at the racetrack. Race number 4 kicks off the Empire 6. There's a mandatory payout of our $600,929 carryover. 20-cent minimum. Races 4 through 9 today.
There
Race
it is.
number 4, speaking of your friend Lee Einseidler, I think his horse No Salt will be a heavy favorite to get it done. There's the PA.
And there we are.
We're back. No Salt. Take a look at No Salt's last race. He just may have found the proverbial right field.
I will say I would have to imagine in the history of, at the very least, Belmont and Saratoga, we've never seen a 3 to 5 morning line on a maiden claimer. Maybe at Aqueduct in the winter.
I'm sure we have.
This is something. Could you imagine if this horse can duplicate this effort? How far this horse will win by today?
I don't know about that, but okay.
You don't know. If this horse runs this race.
Well, this was not a good race. He just happened to run second in a bad field. It's probably a better race than anybody in this race is capable of running, but, I wouldn't get carried away. If he runs this race, what was that race? It was a mediocre second and a mediocre maiden claiming race, and he's found a worse maiden claiming field.
That field he found last time is like the 98 Breeders' Cup Mile.
I don't agree with you, but okay. I don't agree with you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say about the rest of them.
He overlays the field on the past performances, but the 3 Black Iris has never been on the turf.
Right.
So if I'm going to pick against this horse, and I'm going to because I'm not taking 3 to 5 on a horse like this. I understand he's a major single for a lot of people in the Empire 6, and I don't blame them. They're probably right. I don't think he's the best single on the card, but he is a possible single. I don't have an argument with that, but I think Black Iris is a dangerous horse. It's an arch. You've got a dam that produced 1 turf winner out of 2 to try. That was actually okay. It's not a huge turf move up, but I'm going to tell you something. This was his second race on the dirt, the race he finished. It's actually not that bad. And how's the rider change? It's a big rider change. This horse stumbled to start. This horse ran against Gandy Dancing, Farragut. These horses are real horses. This horse moves forward a little bit in the turf. This is the one horse that has a chance to beat No Salt. I agree. The others, good luck to them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a shot with Black Irish because that's who I am.
I am a big believer, and I don't play these jackpot wagers often. I'm a big believer you need a single, and at some point in the sequence, there has to be an all
I'm a big
race.
believer you don't. Why singles? Why do you need a single? What is
Unless
this
you
obsession
have
with singles?
unless you
Where's
have
your
a
bankroll?
huge bankroll.
You don't have a huge bankroll.
play
It's a
this
20-cent
thing.
bet. I put together a ticket for the show that I believe is 2x3 by 1 by 4 by 4 by 4, and it's $76.
My
I
ticket's
could use
100.
2 instead of 1. It'd be $150.
My ticket's $102.
And also, you know, if people's bankrolls are limited, go in with friends. Because you know
Oh,
what?
yeah, no question about it.
30% of a winning ticket is a lot better than 100% of zero.
You know, when you think, it's funny you say that because when I think about, I haven't hit many pick sixes on my own. More often than not,
I've hit on my own, but I've hit them with friends.
I've hit on my own, but what I'm saying, yeah, a lot of
It's
the,
nice to win
especially
with
the
friends,
old,
too.
Oh, absolutely,
No better way to win than win with friends.
absolutely, no question about it.
And I think once again it gets back to Steve Chris, his ABC method, multi-tickets, giving you a chance to win. You know, wouldn't you like to have a backup ticket where you're right everywhere else and my 3-horse wins here and you've got them as a C? I've hit pick sixes on backup tickets.
I have too.
So it works.
Okay.
All right, that's the first 4, the late pick 5 after a quick break.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to Talking Horses. He's the big A. I'm not.
He'll be at Sperry's tonight.
You know, you don't know who that was I was talking to. You don't realize why we're very familiar, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Race number 5.
That comes after race 4.
You make a great point. This is a very tricky race number 5. And I will go through my thought process, which is obviously a lot different than Anthony's. We'll start out, though, with Unrelenting Force. You've got 4th. I think this is the one horse in this race, and I picked a 3rd, you absolutely have to have in your tickets because it's a questionable field, and this horse is loose as a goose in here. So I'm going to use this horse. Now, they knew this horse was going to win last time. I don't love this horse. He has no run well enough at a mile to suggest the 1.8 miles shouldn't be a major problem in this field for him, and he's the main speed. He's not my kind of horse, but to me, he has to be on your Empire 6 ticket.
I put him 4th. He is on my Empire 6 ticket for all the reasons you said. Now, I don't love betting they knew horses back, right? And this was a big one. They knew this horse was going to win last time. You make a very good point. I'm not going to say it's a great point because it's potentially a great point.
No, I don't want you to mean greatness in other areas
Right, I'm not
by
gonna
saying
do
it's
it.
a great point. So that's fair. I appreciate the thought you
Of
put
course.
into it.
The mile races this horse has run. There's an argument for a horse he has 3rd and I have 4th. The mile races he's run, he may very well be aided by the 2 turns.
And I don't know how the tracks will be yet today, but I know yesterday, inside speed was a good way to go.
So, Joel Rosario, not afraid to let a speed horse roll.
As you showed me yesterday with your very excellent opinion.
Well, thank
and by the
you.
way, I gave Anthony an extra lunch
He
on that
did.
bet, wise guys out there.
Yeah.
And the reason we bet on him is so when the guy who's wrong loses, he loses.
That's right.
That's why you bet.
It has to be culpability. Yes, I put him 4th. This horse is very dangerous because this is a suspect bunch.
I don't love this horse. Don't get me
I don't
wrong,
either, but you're not playing you're not
can't-
playing an Empire 6.
can't let
You're
this
not playing
horse-
Rainbow 6 either. You're not playing an Empire 6.
I'm definitely not playing the Rainbow
Me
6.
either. Without you having this horse on your ticket because he is potentially loose and can very easily wire this field.
And because nobody can predict who Anthony picks better than I can, we'll take a look at his top choice, Cold Hard Cash, on top. I have an opinion in this race.
You
I
don't like him.
either one of Linda's horses in here.
Yeah.
I love Linda dearly, but I don't like these horses.
I mean, this
I
horse
don't like who they beat.
Yeah.
I just don't think these horses are
I
very
don't
good.
disagree. And this horse kind of tripped out last time.
Right.
Just sat second to the speed and inherited.
I mean, he ran well enough in a mile.
He did.
That the distance shouldn't be a huge problem. But
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of either one.
Rolled the race out two back with the blinkers on. They came right off. He went to the bench for 7 months. Yeah. And the reason I picked him was, in all likelihood, I would be very surprised if he's not sitting second or third to unrelenting force.
I agree with that.
And just tripping out and picking up
I
a
just
horse
don't know
that
if he's any
doesn't
horse.
want to go 9 and
I
keep
don't
on
know
going.
if he's much horse.
You might be right.
I think we're getting near your favorite moment, by the way, on the top screen.
It's very
but,
close.
I didn't,
That's why I said
I didn't like
Rainbow.
Linda's horses. I don't like the fields they ran with. Listen, this is another race, not so much unlike the second race. The second race, there's a lot of horses who can win. This race, there's kind of no one who can win. You know what I mean?
See,
there's nobody in this race you look at and go, I really like this one, or at least for me.
Here's the reason I put the other Linda horse second to number 6 too early. At the very least, and I know it was a slow race, and he only beat a 5-horse field. He won going a mile and an eighth up here at Saratoga.
Anthony,
Andy,
Sandro the Great can't even run competitively on the right surface.
I know. And that's what I just said. I know he didn't beat much. But I mean,
I love it when it does
who do you trust? I know he went the 9 furlongs.
Anthony, they can all. It's like Wayne Lucas said. They can all get the 10 furlongs. By the way, a nice tweet from Wayne's. Is it grandson?
Brady. Yeah, it's his great son.
Saying
Wayne's
that Wayne's doing well. So we wish
Not
Wayne
for
Lucas,
Micah.
who had COVID, the best going forward, and that was great news to hear that as well. We miss Wayne here in Saratoga. He's been a fixture here for a long, long time, but that's the best news you could get. I don't like the Linda horses. I can't play Quiet Out East, who ran so badly on the right surface and isn't really a dirt horse, and probably he's not a big 9-furlong dirt horse either. I don't want High Command to win this race off a 6-month layoff at a mile and an eighth here with other speed in the race. It seemed like a Herculean task. I'm not going to be shocked if any of these 7 win, because I don't really like anyone in here. But those are horses that I can't play.
Okay.
As far as Dancers for Token, this horse has some races that are fast enough. I wonder if he's going to be better at 7. I wonder if a mile and eighth is too far. 6% seems to be moving a little bit forward, and he's got some races that are fast enough to win. I sort of they ran against Danny California last time, who would be 3 to 5 in this race.
If he'd be that
I mean,
high.
they got beaten up badly in that race. I just felt like these two might be the right 2 horses, and I like them. I dislike them less than the others, and I don't think Dance for Token is going to be 5 to 1 in here. I think it's going to be a bigger price. I'd also like to see Junior let him run forward in here. I'm not saying he's going to be in front. He can't, but don't take this horse back. Let this horse be engaged.
I can't. I mean, could you imagine having to make a morning line for the second or fifth race
No, I couldn't.
today?
I agree. I mean, look at David's line.
I'd still be there
Other than
doing it.
High Command, he's got the horses between 5 to 2 and 6 to 1.
It's supposed
He's
to.
trying to line them up the right way, and he usually does the right job. But I guarantee David would say the same thing. I'm not going to, be shocked when I get a bunch of these wrong. It's hard.
Yeah.
This is a very, very.
We did it a little differently. You went to the horses you couldn't bet. I went to the horse who I think is going to get the trip, and the
I have no
horse that's been in
confidence in
9
them right
furlongs.
near. The one horse I need to have my ticket is the 2, and I don't want to pick him on top.
Correct. Me too. Feel the same way.
Race number 6. I know you're doing everything you can for Christophe, and I want you to know that if the Clements don't appreciate it, I do. I think that your loyalty to them with their bad turf maidens, it's touching, Anthony. Really, I shed a tear when you picked this horse. Let's take a look at a little of High School Crushes and Silent Empress's race, the start for the number 4 Silent Empress, who did not break that sharply. She did break about 3/4 slow. She's the 4. You see her back there. And I won't disagree. She had some traffic in the stretch. Anthony, you could time this race with that thing clicking in our ears or a sundial. That's my problem. I think this is a terrible race.
No room there.
No, I know. You're right. Joel never gets to make
Gonna
a
get to
run
go
with this horse.
outside. No room there.
No, I know. So what?
Right.
So what? I agree. I picked him second. Her second.
And now at this point,
So what? It's a bad race, Anthony.
I know it was.
Anthony, Jose Ortiz needs to do one thing in here.
Oh,
Drop his hands and let
Yep.
her go forward, and this race is over.
and listen,
I know. Listen, I picked against Lee's horse, so you're allowed to pick against big favorites that are like to win too. The one is just. You
That's
realize
what's
who the
supposed-
one is running against?
forget about it.
Compare the field that the
well,
one ran 4-2 last time
can't.
to the field that the 2 and 5 are coming out
Can't.
of.
Can't.
It's like a graded stake compared to a claiming race.
Can't.
And I just think Jose goes forward, and she's just better than these horses. She's just running against better horses. She's just, 2 back, that pace fell apart. She actually didn't run that badly. She didn't run that badly in her debut race. I know she lost to Snicket, but Snicket doesn't want to win. But
Right. Not that she's right.
It's not a bad horse.
Right. People don't get that.
I mean,
you don't have to win. You could be a good horse and not win.
Right. You can lose to horses that keep finding ways to lose, but they're still good horses.
Oh, listen, she's the horse to beat. I just
That's
off
fine.
the trip,
That's fine.
wanted
I
to
got
give
it
her
1-5.
more chance.
I don't disagree. She
Yeah.
definitely had traffic, and she's probably better
And
than she is.
I kind of feel like they're light years ahead of the rest of them.
Because I don't know that the 5 is any good. I know she had some traffic last time. I don't know that she's any good. I actually think Mia B a star, the 6, might be the second likeliest winner in a funny way in this race dropping down because she's never run a maiden claiming race
That was
on
my
the
dirt
turf.
try last time.
What?
I picked her last time. You harassed me about picking the donk horses to the dirt. Remember?
That was actually
she ran well.
Where did she find that speed last time?
I don't know. She was right up on it too.
She was. No, that was quick. She was running with that speeder. Love Me Tomorrow.
Yep.
By the way, Love Me Tomorrow. I think I Will Never Love You. Love
If
Me
that
Tomorrow.
was the day, if yesterday wasn't the day, I mean, when
She was
is?
third.
I know.
She was third.
I know.
Scary. Race number 7. I might have picked the wrong Linda Rice horse. I'm willing to acknowledge that. I picked this horse, Big Engine. And we'll show you a stat for Linda afterwards. I got this stat right. I know the horse had a perfect trip. I know these were inferior horses to these. But I also know that this horse ran the best race he's ever run, understandably under ideal circumstances. I don't think it was a gold rail that carried the horse, though. Before this race, a lot of people thought the rail was dead. I took this horse because I want Linda when her horses are starting to get good. And we've talked about this ad infinitum on the show. I'll show you the stat. And Anthony, I totally agree this horse has to get better. But this is one thing Linda does pretty well. They get good, they get better.
This horse is dangerous today. This horse is dangerous today. This horse also likes to win. 6 for 14, 10 out of 14
I
in
like
the
to win.
exacta.
How come I can't
This horse likes to win. And this is the kind of horse where he has run okay. You take his wet track races off his form. I mean, his fast track form is dangerous against these horses. And he's going to be a much better price than the other Linda Rice horse and a lot of horses.
Let me just say that Mount Travers, he probably doesn't want to be in front. And because he drew the rail last time, he was forced to be forward. And now drawing outside, he probably gets his more preferred trip. You brought it up last time, and there is an argument with Mount Travers. He's a better wet track horse.
Yeah. I do
there's
believe
also
that.
a possibility of some thunderstorms later today.
Okay, well,
so
there you go.
that would move him up if that happened. And God forbid, we don't. Let's see where the ever-changing weather reports are in
So
Saratoga.
you just keep your eye to the sky. You just keep your eye to the sky and
I keep my eye to my iPhone.
On your weather app, yeah, that as well.
Now it's not major, but it's small, but it's there, like 30%. Why are you giving Free Enterprise another chance? You're trying to get back in the good graces after the dismissal earlier today?
He gets one more chance. This is it.
What was
The
his
divorce
excuse?
papers are
He
signed
was
up.
steady last time around the 3/8 bowl. He
Now-
had some minor trouble.
Here is my...
He's been bad, dude. 2 in a row.
I am hoping that Chad Brown and Javier Castellano go into the paddock. Chad Brown looks at him and says,
Excuse me.
put this horse on the lead today.
He's not faster than
He's
Pete's
fast
play
enough
call.
to get out.
No, you're not
He's
wrong.
got to jack
You're
him.
not wrong. You're
He's
not
got
wrong.
to jack him out of there and just put him in front today.
But what happened
and
to
let him
back when he
roll.
went?
It was his first start
So
off
what?
of the 5.5 months.
But
it was 6.5.
I'm going to say to you the one positive I'll say about this horse. Chad did not drop him into a claiming race because he is ready to drop them when
And
they're
this
not
is a horse
performing.
who, I mean, he started his career.
He was favored in the Hooper.
I'm telling you, there's no other real speed in this race.
Well, no. Pete's play call's fast. Come on, Anthony.
Pete's play call can be fast.
Yeah. Home run
And he's
maker's
got
no
Luis
slouch,
Saez.
but he's not a
And he's
bullet.
got Luis Saez. But I really believe if Javier Castellano wants to lead with Free Enterprise, if he's aggressive,
I don't think you're
Pete's
wrong.
play calls best races are from right off the pace. I think Luis Saez would love to have a target today, especially a horse like you just said. You're a little surprised this horse hasn't been put in for a tag yet. It got me in trouble before when they put the screen up with the ring. You got to leave me alone with this thing, man. He just got to go. And I'm hoping. And listen, he's put some of these clever ahead of plan on the turf, right to the top. He's got to give these horses the same kind of. This horse got to get the same kind of treatment today, right to the lead. And look, if he gets beat, he gets beat. I think if he puts him in front today, I think he gets the money. If I knew he was going to the lead today, I'd be making a serious bet on this horse today.
I think you make a good point. You know, it's not great, but
Not
it's
great.
close. I know
If
that's fair.
if I knew he was going to lead today, I'd be making a serious bet on this horse.
Speaking of Pete's play call, but no, I got you. It's not a terrible point. Here's Pete's play call. He ran very well last time. I know Lone Rock almost caught him, and Lone Rock is off the claim for Robertino Diodoro's had a bad meet, but doesn't mean that you should disregard the fact the guy's dangerous off the claim.
Correct.
Lone Rock took advantage of a fast pace and a gold rail and still almost got there, whereas Pete's play call was not on the good rail, and he was chasing a fast pace, and he actually ran very, very well. Of the two that are claimed, I would have more confidence that Diodoro maybe could move the horse forward because he has in the past. I just don't know if they're as good as these horses.
I don't know if they're as good. And I think the big issue, my big issue with Lone Rock here, and I know you don't, distance doesn't worry you as much. This just may be too short for him. In a race where there doesn't seem to be an abundance of speed, this might just be a touch too short for him.
All right.
But he's definitely dangerous, especially off the Diodoro claim. Just because
Well,
the
you know
guy's not
they're
having
dangerous, these horses, because other than our friend Nick Zito's Giuseppe the Great off the layoff, who probably at very most would need a race, not that he doesn't have some good races, I'm not convinced that all these horses don't have a chance in here. By the way. And
Liquor's off Giuseppe the Great, by the way. Late change.
The Diana.
Here it is.
This is really, really, really a terrific race. You know my favorite Diana, right?
I don't.
Way of beating Pearl Necklace back in 19, I want to say 77 or 8.
I don't know.
Do you know that Glowing Tribute won the Diana? And two daughters of her accounted for 3 Dianas. Wild Applause won it,
Yep.
and Glowing Honor won it twice.
Going on 1-2, right? Back to back, or was there a year in
Back to
between?
back. Rokeby won it 6 times. Chad's won it 5 straight times. Is that true?
That would be right.
believe it's correct.
Lady Eli, a couple of Sister Charlies. There was a.
He lost to Clement somewhere in there. Hard not to like.
That might have been 14.
That's the race that I watched with him, and he had Stephanie's Kitten, and he
Yes.
also there was a rabbit in there for Stephanie's Kitten that Maker used to train, and the rabbit just got nailed at the end by Clement, and I watched it with Chad, and I said, Maker's rabbit almost stole the race, and he goes, that was my rabbit, you idiot, I trained that horse.
Oh.
I am one annoying guy. Let's take a look at an excellent running of the Ballston Spa and the very talented Starship Jubilee, who I could wax poetic forever. And, you know, Clement's horse, Call Me Love, also ran very, very well in there. I don't want to just dismiss her, even though I think she's a relatively unlikely winner here. She ran well. Starship Jubilee, who's an incredible story. We'll start with Starship Jubilee. 16 for 23, 16 for 27, 8 graded stakes since she was claimed for 16,000, 23 out of 27 in the money. If there is a cooler horse in training, Canadian Horse of the Year last year, a cooler story in racing, you got to find it. This is a great story. And I got to tell you, this is her biggest test ever. You going to be shocked when she wins today?
No,
I'll be
I won't
a
be
little
shocked.
surprised, but
But for a horse that's 18 for 36 in a career, Horse of the Year, Canadian Horse of the Year, man, you feel like last time was the time, don't you?
I agree. That's fair. That's fair.
And that's weird to say about a filly as accomplished as her, but you
Well,
gotta,
she's not
you
just that. She's 16
certainly
for 27 to claim. It's one of the greatest claims in the history of horse racing. Claimed her she was a turf sprinter for George Navarro.
Can you imagine? Turf sprinter. She's won
About
graded
1.6
stakes at
million
a
in
mile
it.
and a half. I think she won a graded stakes up there at a mile and a half at Woodbine.
I think she's won about. I think
Earlier.
they probably won about 1.5 million, the 1.6 million,
Yeah.
and she's
She's
worthwhile as a
remarkable.
broodmare. She's cool. Sister Charlie, let's show her beating Rushing Fall in this race last year. I thought her win in this race last year was as good a race as she's ever run. I thought this was a tremendous race because Rushing Fall ran her butt off in here.
She did.
And she ran. I think Rushing Fall might have run. I'm not sure this isn't the best race Rushing Fall ever ran. And Sister Charlie went by her like she was standing still.
Yeah.
How confident are you, though? Listen, I want Sister Charlie to win this race. I really do. I want to be wrong. I hope she gets back. I know Chad believes he can get her back to that good form. I didn't like her last race, Anthony.
I don't have as much of a problem with the last race as a lot of people do.
Keisha has something there in tinfoil.
Keisha has more
are those
cookies.
For me?
Yeah, those are cookies for me.
No, the cookies are for me.
No, the cookies are for me.
I'm the Nair employee here. I get the cookies.
Are for
Should
me.
I share with Anthony?
The cookies are for me.
Anthony, you've
Sherry.
had enough cookies.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Brian.
You've had enough cookies,
Thank
Anthony.
you, Acacia.
I need the cookies.
So, you wouldn't like those cookies. They're not good.
Believe me, I will like them because I'm going to get them faster than you are.
So, you don't want to bet on that. I didn't need the puck yesterday. I will use it today for the cookies. I can tell you that right now.
I can launch myself over the desk.
I believe she needed the race. And this race it's a really fun renewal.
She's never
of the
needed a race before, and Chad Brown horses don't usually need a race off layoffs.
Yeah, you
have to admit, she was a major disappointment, and she tailed off towards the end of last year, too, Anthony. It didn't come out of nowhere. Anthony.
I'm not holding the sand. I need a race against her. The Flower Bowl, yeah, she was tailing off when the Flower Bowl came
but
around.
That's
there's no question about it.
Why don't you hold the Santa Anita race against her?
Because nobody really made any ground on that turf course.
Well, Iridessa did. She did. Anyway, she did. I'm just telling you, she's now run 3 consecutive races that are subpar for her.
I feel like
that's a concern.
At the mile and an eighth, I feel like she was kind of up against it.
But why are you denying that she's run 3 straight disappointing races?
I mean, I don't know how you win a Grade 1 and it'd be disappointing. I don't think the Flower Bowl was disappointing. It wasn't her usual effort.
But then when it's followed by 2 other subpar efforts, I do think you have to recognize that she now has not run the brilliant races we were used to her running. And she's in very tough today.
But I do believe her last 2 efforts were under less than ideal circumstances. And I think what
was wrong with what was not ideal about her last race?
I don't know about listen, when she won the Jenny Wiley at the mile and the 16th, she beat
ran as well as she's ever run.
She beat 4-star Crook and she beat Off Limits.
Oh, the 4-star Crook is such a bum.
I'm not saying she's a bum, but I don't think she's
Off Limits won the matriarch in her prior start.
I don't think she's the caliber of filly that she's accustomed to running against. She beat them because of her class. I do believe mile and an eighth.
Maybe she won it that year, actually.
And longer. I don't remember. I think it was that year. I think it was later on that year.
But Anthony, she got there and didn't finish. Do you think she would have won that last race at a mile and an eighth?
No, but I don't think. I think she's going to benefit from.
She better.
I think she needed the race, and at the distance, she's compromised.
Wait, he's got her 5-2 second choice.
He's got her second choice.
Well, she's going to be favored, isn't she?
The assumption. So, I would not be surprised if Rushing Fall was favored.
I would.
I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't be surprised. When I saw the morning line, this is why I'm not surprised.
I don't think there'll be that big a gap. I'll tell you that.
If youth, I don't either.
There
but
is.
I don't
think I know who's going to win.
You know, if.
Let's talk about Rushing Fall.
Go ahead.
Look at her race at Keeneland.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, for me, Rushing Fall has somehow in the shadow of Sister Charlie, and I've been as guilty as anybody, been a little remiss in appreciating a horse who's won a Grade 1 in 4 straight years. And she's got 5 career Grade 1s. She's going for her 6th. Sister Charlie's going for her 8th. She's going to be more forward than Sister Charlie, and a course that might really be helping horses that are forward. And she's won a mile and 8th before. She also is continuing to maintain her good form. I'm not worried about her. I know she's still in good form. I'm not convinced that Sister Charlie is.
She is stretched at a mile and an 8th. I believe she is at her limits going a mile and an 8th.
Well, it's a good thing the race isn't longer than a mile and an 8th.
And then when you dissect her form going a mile and an 8th.
But she has as fast a figure at a mile and an 8th in the Diana last year as she's run in any of her other races.
I know, but you don't think she's a little stretched at the mile and an 8th?
No, I think a mile and an 8th is the limit of what she's going to be best at in all likelihood.
I think
but she's demonstrated with her efforts at a mile and an 8th that it's not a distance that's a problem for her. She won the QE2. She won the Lake Placid. And I know she won the QE2 walking on the lead. I get all that. I know.
But we saw them with their optimal performances at a mile and an 8th. Like you said, she ran one of the best figures of her life. And Sister Charlie ran by her like she was standing still.
But that was a different Sister Charlie, and I think we're going to see
Perhaps it is. And if you believe that, you have to pick Rushing Fall. Look, this is no offense to the rest of the fillies in this race. I don't think anybody can win this race except Rushing Fall or Sister Charlie.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I don't agree. I'm not going to discount a horse like Starship Jubilee.
Okay.
All she does is run well. And all. Starship Jubilee has won 6 of her last 7 races.
I know she has.
I mean,
I know she has.
And it's not like she had to win all those races. What about Mean Mary? We'll take a look at her win in New York.
Water's getting very deep here today, isn't it?
I agree, and so I'm sure is Graham Motion. She also set a very slow pace last time on a gold rail and had everything her own way. There is absolutely no doubt whatsoever.
And is she a little bit better? I think her figures tell this story. She's probably a little bit better when she goes longer and can control relaxed paces.
That's only if you are basing her big figure last time on the fact that she had a slow pace and she was riding a gold rail that helped her performance, which I am.
Well, you don't think there was a big difference from her effort in December?
Well, I'm not going to talk about her December races. She's a better horse now. Here's an argument for you. She's an improving 4-year-old. The other horses might be on the other side of their best races. She might be a horse that's ready to take another step forward. And I'll tell you one thing. If they let her get the lead and control on the front end, she is a major danger. If they let her walk on the front end, and that happens a little too often around here, even grade stakes.
I would be stunned if Rushing Fall is not on the lead today. Absolutely stunned.
I didn't say Rushing Fall is faster than her. It would be, in my opinion, a mistake if Rushing Fall wasn't in front of her. But would you
give her
be
best
shocked
chance
when it doesn't work that way?
You give her best chance. You give Rushing Fall her best chance, and you take Mean Mary out of the game. Essentially,
well, I don't know if you take her out of the game.
Well, let her try and do something she hasn't done.
You take her out of her strong suit.
Let her try and do something she hasn't done.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm a little bit reticent about making absolute.
Okay,
it's about how the race are run around here.
That's fine.
Because they are running odd ways around here.
Fair enough.
Very interesting running the Diana. Can't wait.
Can't wait for this race.
Can't wait.
Yep. I'll be home for it.
Race number 9.
Yeah. Race number 9.
Let's take a look at Ain't It Funky Now for the first quarter mile of his last race. So you can see maybe why he ran as badly as he is. He has the rail. It was an eventful first 20 seconds of the race for poor Ain't It Funky Now.
Boy, you ain't kidding, huh? Look at this. Shuffling back here. And then it's nothing so far. You're going to see right as they start to bend into the turn.
Why did you let him shuffle back as much as he did anyway?
I don't know. That was not no bueno.
Now, I will say he didn't run a step after that. But I think we give him an excuse. And you're going to continue the Clement train, though.
Yeah.
You've got Allied Invasion, who stunk last time.
So we talked about this earlier. You and I disagree. I believe in a single and an all. Ladies and gentlemen, my all. I don't want to try to. I don't want to attempt.
You like
I think
Otter?
6 horses.
You want to make sure you got Otter on your ticket?
I think 6 horses can win this race.
Want to have a heart on your ticket?
I'm investing $102 if I can invest.
Zevo, that future lawn mowing sire.
I don't make fun of my boy Zevo. If I can,
I got more right to make fun of Zevo than you.
If I can invest 76, I can invest 102. I'm not.
You don't think your money would be better spent in other places?
I don't want to be bothered with this. I want Sister Charlie to win, be alive. Let them all be playing 1,500, 1,800, a couple
you see
of
what
10
I have to deal
there.
with?
I'd be happy.
He would
as a
rather
clam.
single Sister Charlie and use all
no,
in
I didn't
here
single Sister Charlie.
than use 4.
I used both of them.
Okay.
I used the 2 Chad Browns. I used Rushing Fall and I used Sister Charlie. My only single is No Lime, which is one of the craziest things I've ever probably done. No Salt.
No Lime was the one that ran the other day that should have won and was burying it.
No Salt.
Oh, Lime and Salt, the tequila thing.
Well, yes,
I don't know if you know, but Lee was involved with a tequila. I don't know if he's told you. Lee and George Clooney are like this. When is George Clooney going to come visit?
Why do you think Lee likes to hang out with me so much? When George isn't around, he likes to have somebody comparable.
Anthony is the George Clooney of Howard Beach. On that note, we got a mandatory payout of the Empire 6 today.
Oh, my God.
$600,000 carryover. $600,929, as a matter of fact.
Don't forget the 929.
Hey, listen, I could use
the 929
always use
929, right?
If you,
if
you take the whole pool and want to give me the 929,
bingo.
Anthony will give you my information.
Yep.
That'll start in race number 4. Mandatory payout today. Get involved and play it through NYRA Bets. Head on over to NYRABets.com. If you're not a member, support racing in New York. You need to keep money in horse racing, not take it out of horse racing. Support racing in New York. Free $25 play. We'll match it to $200. Use the promo code Derby25. Get involved. $5 bonus. You bet 25 or more to win the last race here on the 4th race at Del Mar. Also, good luck if you're playing the contest today, by the way, but it's too late to sign up. The Sunday contest. 2 more after today. We can watch it all summer, all the serial action, 1 to 6 today. We're on Fox Sports 1 today, but find out the schedule of all the networks, MSG Plus as well, NYRA.com/Saratoga Live, and of course, you can always watch on the NYRA YouTube channel. Anthony, it was a great pleasure. Have a safe trip downstate.
Thank you.
Be nice
We'll see
to
you
Phyllis.
Wednesday. I had to take my earpiece off because I got to get over those cookies before he does.
You couldn't get over those cookies before I did unless I trip and fall. And Kaka, you just be careful over there.
Very
Anyhow,
surprised.
Johnny I up next, the reprise, the scratches and changes.
Hello, racing fans, and once again, welcome